So it's an exciting day today. The shed's going to be turning up today. I've been looking forward to this for a few months since I ordered it. That's right, you get to my stage in life and it's exciting to have a new shed turn up. They're going to be dropping it at the end of a lane that goes to the back of my house. So I'm going to have to carry the panels down, hopefully without breaking any. That'll be fun to watch. And once it's in there, the weather's hopefully going to stay dry, like I said, because I need to treat the panels. So they may already be treated, but I want to treat them anyway. Obviously, for the longevity of the shed, I want it to last quite a long time. But also, I want to paint the panels before I put them together. To me, it makes sense to paint them before they go together because it'll be easier to spray them with paint, I think. I don't know. I'm no expert, like I said in the first vlog. But we'll see how this goes today. It'll be fun. So the shed has turned up, which is good news. He couldn't get his van down the lane though, which is an issue because all he could do was then deliver the stuff to the bottom of the lane, which is all the way down there. And now it's up to me to carry it one piece at a time all the way into this entrance to my back garden here. But it's not an issue because each piece isn't all that heavy on their own, it's just a lot of pieces. But I better get on with it. So this is the paneling, the panels, the door panels, the roof panels, the floor, every part of the shed is here now. It all looks okay. Well, I haven't fully inspected it all yet, but just at a glance, it all looks in good condition. One thing I have noticed is that I thought I was going to get plexiglass, but what I've actually got here is real glass, which I'm not going to complain about, because I think you have to pay extra for that, I think. But that's what's been delivered to me. So what I'm going to do now is spray it all with some treatment before I paint it all. Like I say, I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but I think painting it before I put it together will make it easier because I'm going to be using a sprayer. And we'll see where this ends up, see what sort of mess I get myself into. So first mistake I've made is buying solvent-based wood preserve to use underneath water-based paint. So apparently, like I say, not a clue me, that you can't do. Luckily I've researched that before I put any paint or wood preserve on, so I'm going to take back the solvent-based wood preserve and I've ordered some water-based wood preserve to spray the shed first. So first mistake found and not followed through. So I've got the wood preserver. This one's clear and it specifically says for shed and fence, and it's water-based. Being water-based, I can then paint on top of it with water-based paint. So I need a system here now because I'm quite strapped for space, as we know, and I want to do both sides of the panels with the sprayer. So I'm going to have to move all of these, I think, to here, and then one at a time, spray on here, spray on this side, move it to here, spray on the other side, and then do the next panel, etc., etc. So they're all then leaning up against here to dry. That's the plan anyway. yeah, I've given up on that thing, the sprayer, and just gone with the paintbrush. I think the paintbrush is probably quicker, easier, you get a better coverage. Although this stuff is like water, it's going to take at least 2 coats, maybe 3. So this is after the second coat. I think it needs a third coat, which I'm about to do right now. So hopefully you can see here the difference on the left hand side. These have had 2 coats. I've just finished, sorry, 3 coats. Just finished the third coat on this bottom panel here, and these on this side have only had 2 coats. Obviously it dries darker, but there's the difference. The top panel here, this panel, is pretty much dried. And you can see there is a difference between the 2 panels. And yes, it looks like my channel's turned into watching paint dry. So that's 3 coats that is on here now. So I think the best thing to do now is to actually assemble it. So I have some paint left. I may give it another coat once it's assembled. But the main thing is this back panel is pretty well covered, and I won't be able to get to that panel once the shed is built because it's going to be here, there's no moving it around. So that's one of the reasons why I painted it before putting it together. But I think it's about time I start trying to put it together first. So now I need to move all of these out of here so I can get the base down and then start bringing them in part by part. So you see me struggle moving these out first. Which shall I go with first? So this is the bag that comes with the tiger shed. It's got all the stuff in it, I guess. I hope. This is edging. Assembly instructions. How hard can it be? Even for a history teacher. And a welcome pack from Tiger Sheds. So I'm not affiliated with these guys. They're not giving me anything. Obviously, I'm not that kind of YouTube. I've got like 5 views of my videos. But this is how I bought them off, and this is what you get. This is where you get your fancy paraphernalia with the Tiger Shed brands and some bump, basically. Or we can put that away. We'll decide whether to put that on later, depending on how hard it is to actually build. Now, this should be a 2-man job. Let's see if I can have a go on my own, or I may need the wife to actually start it off. But first of all, I've got to put those 2 together. Like these, I have to hammer off, apparently. Rather than use a claw hammer, I guess so you don't break the wood, and they're only pinned in at an angle as well by the looks. And these are obviously here to make sure the edges, these edges, don't get smashed. Yeah, so that these edges don't get smashed in transit. This comes with instructions, but there's also a very good tutorial online, which is basically a 15-minute YouTube video that shows a couple of guys putting one of these together, and it's fairly simple. Yeah, I think that's wrong. I think those are transport blocks. Let me check the video again. So, stupidly, having taken the transport blocks out of this one, I haven't taken them out of this one. Thankfully, I've only put 3 nails in, so I'm going to knock them back out and take these transport blocks out. Okay, that's 3 nails in, but I do need to check one more thing, and it's to see where I'm supposed to put the nails, the thick part of the shiplap or the thin part of the shiplap. Maybe I'll say in here. It did say on the video, but I can't remember. Thick part of the shiplap makes sense. Okay, I want to get the other panel on, because as you can see, the wind is making this move quite a bit. And then once I get the other panel on, I can push them all back towards the wall. Okay, mistake number 2. These couch screws are supposed to go in from the side, which makes more sense, absolutely, doesn't it, in the design sense. So I'm going to take these out, and there's going to be 2 pre-drilled holes on the sides that I need to put in from the sides, which I've already done on this side. So, mistake number 2. How many mistakes do you think I'll get up to during the build? I'll be happy if it's less than 5.